I'd like to bring the Munhall Borough Council meeting in order for February 20th, 2024. Normally we start with the Pledge of Allegiance, don't we? Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Dave, would you start us off with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Seth, would you like to start with a call to order?
President Brennan?
Here.
Mr. Eads?
Here.
Mrs. Fry?
Here.
Vice President Ondo?
Here.
Mr. Shields? Here. Mr. Bodedian? Here. Mr. Youngkins?
Here.
Mayor Foss?
Here.
We have quorum, sir.
Thank you, and excuse me, I did read that wrong, so I did do the call to order and then the Pledge of Allegiance and that, so. You were correct.
We're just rolling.
Yes, we are. Thank you. So I'm just gonna give a brief report, on things we've been working on. A lot of stuff we've been working on is, in our proposals today. We're working on, public works. We had public works meetings. We're working on streets that we're going to be paving, and alleys. We're looking at all the streets and alleys we're going to be paving. We're also working on equipment. We're going to be purchasing a few pieces of equipment that we want to use to be able to do the streets and alleys that we can do as our borough on our own. And it just makes sense for us to be doing our alleys, because if we know our alleys are in poor shape, so we're looking into moving into that realm and trying to make our town better. Okay, that's what I've been working on. Also, I'd like to stop for a minute and I want to talk to council and the public. We're looking to fulfill openings in our borough, and I'm still waiting for more time. We put out an advertisement. It was out for about a week. I'm giving it until next month, till we get responses from the general public. We've had a few responses. I do believe we're looking for crossing guards still, aren't we, Mayor?
Yes, we are.
So we're looking for crossing guards. We're also
Part-time and full-time.
part-time and full-time, but they're all part-time.
Well, they are, it's part-time.
Yeah.
But they may not have a regular spot, they may have to.
Right.
be able to do that.
We're also looking for volunteer firemen, aren't we?
All the
Fire
time.
chief? Right, firemen.
All the time.
We're looking for them as well. We're also looking for the planning commission. We have 4 openings on the planning commission. Several people have applied, but we want a full planning commission staff. We have 1 opening in the sewer authority. We also have an alternate opening for the zoning hearing board. And have I missed any? I think there's one more that I
We're
missed.
still hiring, not on the boards and commissions, but we are still hiring and have not made a decision yet on the administrative assistant position, so we are taking applications.
Right. I knew there was one other thing that we were still doing. So that's still an open position. If someone would like to apply, please do so, because that position's not been filled. In this report, you'll see that we are hiring a part-time or a full-time person as a dispatcher in the police department, which I'm all in favor of that. I think he's going to be a great acquisition. And that's basically my report. So council, I'm looking forward to filling these positions next month. Hopefully we get a good response and we can do that.
Did you say there's 4 on the plan?
There's 4 openings on the planning commission, yes. Yes, there is. Okay, any other questions for me? And hand in hand, I've been working with Seth. We work quite close together on many things that happen, and retirements for people, all kinds of things are going on. Seth's been very busy. He's a very active borough manager, and there's a lot going on. So I'm going to ask now for the mayor's report, unless anyone else has a question for me. Okay, moving forward, Mayor.
Okay, first, I want to congratulate J.J. Hiddleston. He's been going to St. Vincent College next year. He's going to be playing football there. And he's a great student. And, good senior year. Secondly, I've been talking to this Montauk Chamber of Commerce. And I helped him book a location down at the library. He wants to hold a meeting. The Munhall Chamber of Commerce is bigger in the like McKeesport, White Oak, Glassport, and those business districts. They're looking to advance a little bit into the Homestead, Munhall, West Homestead Business District. So there is going to be a meeting, and I've invited Seth to come down with me too, because municipalities and school districts can also be members of the Chamber of Commerce. I quite don't understand what purpose they would have, but I think it's doesn't cost anything for a municipality to join it. It's very minimal.
Well, I think the municipalities will get information.
Right.
They can pass it along.
Right.
And they can get information from businesses that, hey, there's businesses wanting to look at spots, so they can work hand in hand.
So I don't know
I think
if
it's
there's
all
any
good.
business people in the audience today, but, we'd love to have you. It's gonna be a breakfast meeting, March 21st, starts at 8 a.m. at the Carnegie Library. I know there's a couple council people that still have little businesses, or any council person, is welcome to come also.
What time did you say that was?
At 8 a.m., March 21st. The guy said they like to do them early because a lot of people like to get the meetings over with and get to their work, get the things they have to get done.
What day is that?
It is a Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning, 8 a.m. at the library.
And we did used to have our own local,
Still Valley Chamber of Commerce.
yeah, we used to have one years ago, and it's just gone. And
Is it gone?
Yeah,
That's my question.
there is not one now. And basically, that is the Chamber of Commerce of choice if we're gonna move into somewhere,
I would
so.
think so. I mean,
Yeah.
the Main Street Business District they used to be a lot more active than they are now. I will be, going to a lot of the Main Street Business Districts.
Yep.
Mike, maybe Greens maybe someone will attend from Greens.
Are they contacting local business in Still Valley?
They are contacting them, and I told them I'd help them also. I told them I would knock on a few doors for them, do some door-to-door. And anybody wants one when the meeting ends, I'll pass this along, Seth, maybe some copies today.
Anything else, man?
No, we're looking to have a borough cleanup from the Munhall Cares in May. I think the date looking is May 4th. And there's also, Munhall Cares are gonna be doing an Easter egg hunt. I think it's a week before Easter, like on the 23rd maybe. I don't even know if they have a location yet though, so I think you're still working on that.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Solicitors report?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. First, just a few brief items regarding motion 4 for the Munhall Community Band. They did receive the necessary documentation to verify they are indeed a nonprofit corporation, authorized by their articles of incorporation to engage in civic purposes within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So all the necessary paperwork is in place so the council can act on the resolution to approve them so they can conduct small games of chance. I completed a memorandum of understanding with the Teamsters Union as directed regarding the work schedule for garbage pickup. That's been completed. I worked with Seth on various personnel matters. There's a memorandum that was completed. I don't know if council's aware of that, but that's something that could be reviewed and discussed.
Are you talking motion 7?
No, this is not,
Okay.
this is something else here.
Okay.
It will be an executive session.
Okay.
And lastly, just today, I received a request from Seth and the engineer that we need to conduct some geotechnical borings on property near Ravine Street, so I'll prepare the necessary easements that will allow us access to 2 residential properties so that we can go onto the property and conduct those borings. That'll be ready for next month's approval.
Good.
And that's all I have.
Good, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so, we'd like to approve the meeting minutes from January 2nd and January 16th of 2024. I need a motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Eads, second by Mr.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
Yeah.
Any presenters that would like to speak? Oh, we need a vote. I thought we unanimously voted for that. All in favor? Yeah, all in favor. I figured that. I'm sorry. I was thinking ahead of the presenters. So, we have no registered crowd here, so I'm going to skip and go to public comments on items for consideration. And then I see we have a big crowd here, so if we have any items for consideration, I'm going to do that right now on the agenda. And then I'm going to skip and go to non-agenda items as well. So anyone have anything that they'd like to speak about the agenda, please ask your question. Agenda items? Okay, so I figured that you guys were here for non-agenda items, so that's why I'm doing that now. So, Mike, I know you're here for a non-agenda item. We'll get you out of the way first. If you'd like to please stand and address who you are, and then speak to council.
I'm Mike Serrano I live on 135 Crawford, but I'm here representing MAPS, Munhall Area Pre-Hospital Services. I believe I should address the solicitor for this question. I'm not sure.
Well, now you address council.
Okay, we would like to see if we can get on the ballot for a percent for a tax like we did for the library. We don't know how to go about doing that.
You want a referendum? You want a referendum on the ballot?
Correct. Thanks, Bern. So is that possible that we can do that? Do we need your approval from council to do that? Or what's the best way to go about doing it?
Well, the best way to inquire is call the Allegheny County Department of Elections. This has been done before in my time. I worked on it, but it's been many years. I can't recite from memory what the process is,
Okay.
but the County Department of Elections oversees all ballot issues. It would be a ballot question, as
Do
Mr.
we
Shields
need the
indicated.
approval of Munhall Council?
I don't recall if that's necessary or not, sir, because it's been a number of years since I've looked into it.
Once upon a time, they told us we did.
Yeah, and that may be true. I just hadn't researched it and anticipate you asking me this question.
Okay.
What you'll need is signatures, a lot of them. Once you gather the signatures, you'll take them to the election bureau. And then, no matter what will come by, it'll have to be approved by council eventually, because any kind of taxing has to come through here.
Okay, okay.
That's
Now we know the
April
procedure.
23rd, it may be a little time.
No, it'll probably be in
You may have to
November.
push that off to the
Yeah,
fall,
yeah,
because I
we
think
understand that.
April 23rd will be a little 2 months.
We've drug our feet so many times, but MAPS is doing very, very well, and I believe you get a readout. I think the manager gets a readout every month of our services, correct? I thought you did, because we asked him to do that, so.
So, Mike,
He's been doing it.
we did have a little huddle here before the meeting, because I knew you were here and you talked to me on the elevator coming up.
Right?
So, there may be a couple other items that other ways that it can be dealt with.
Okay.
And I'm gonna direct our borough manager to look into that.
Okay.
And he can certainly work with our solicitor as well.
Okay.
If there are other items or other ways it can be done, we will speak to that with you as well.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
And
you.
ladies.
Thank you. You're welcome. So, anyone else would like to speak, please do so.
So I am Renee Galston. I am a resident of 887 Munn Street. And I am here to speak for all of us today on Munn Street about the Hungarian Social Club that has reopened. We are fed up. Once again, we have another nuisance bar to open in our area, allowing them to stay open until 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning. What bar or club in Munhall stays open until 3, 4 a.m. in the morning? We can't sleep. The noise inside the building is so loud we can hear it inside of our houses. It's almost like we're sitting at an outdoor concert sometimes. A couple weekends ago, there was a band, a DJ, and they came outside at 3 a.m. banging on their drums. Secondly, we had signs installed a couple years ago. Then Chief Campbell had told us, that he was going to install these permit parkings, tow-away signs, which he did. However, they're not being enforced the way that they're supposed to. We call when we see cars starting to come up our hill. We're told to call the police. Chief Campbell told us to call the police. Anytime this bar's open and, we feel like it's going to be an issue, just call. So we call. And just recently, when this club was open a couple weekends ago, we had a person drive onto our property. They were on my front steps, trying to get out. They crushed my fence, they crushed solar lights I have pictures if you guys want to see.
Can
Every single-
I stop you
Yeah.
for 1 second? Because I was there with the chief, we put the signs up down there, I was the mayor then. And have you been calling the police
We
and
have.
making reports?
Every
So,
weekend we
Chief,
call.
are we getting calls from the residents?
Every weekend we call when they're open.
The only one I know about was the most recent one. I talked to the officer. We only had 2 officers working, you know, when these calls were being made. The first time, there was 4 cars parked on the street on SD Way. The officer responded. There was armed security for the event. They came over, asked what happened. He explained to them. Security went in and got the owners of the cars and they moved them. He said it only took 5 to 10 minutes. Later on that night, it was during shift change, we got a second call to go back there. There was 2 cars parked there. Same thing, the security guard came, asked what was going on. Officer told him, he went in and had to move the vehicles. I went down and I looked in the area and there's currently no signs.
So the signs are on?
Oh, there's signs.
There are. They're
There's
lined the
tow-away
street.
zones, there's no
What
parking
signs
zones.
are
I don't need them. I live there.
We
Yeah.
look, we see the signs
I
every
just
day.
took a picture today.
So,
You have picture
there's,
lines.
well, that picture's too far to see, the sign. But I can show you in that picture what telephone pole the sign is on. And anyway,
So go ahead, I
we had an officer come up and he told a resident, there's no signs, I don't see these signs. So the resident takes the cop to show them the signs, he shows them the sign, and he goes, oh. So then this other cop comes up who's known our issue, he's aware of our issue. He showed the cop the signs and told him what, is supposed to happen up here when this club is open. And we were also told that night that we would get patrol, that we would get more patrol, which we did not get patrol that night.
Can I ask you another question?
Go ahead.
Because I've not heard of any problems down there so far at all. And I'm wondering, how long has the club been open?
It's been, the woman bought it in 2020, right? 2022?
What? Well, I know that there were problems when we were there, when Chief Campbell was down there and I was down there and the mayor. We got the signs put there and we did enforce the parking area. So when has it reopened
It's
again?
been for about a year now. We're just fed up and that's
Is
why
that a
we're
license they
here.
operate?
It's been a year?
Yeah.
From what I understand,
They-
it's
so
not
it's
a
not a-
club anymore, it's a venue. Somebody rents out the building. And it's not every weekend. I think it's like
Basically
every,
every weekend. I don't mean to interrupt
They're
you, but it's
open
basically every
nights.
weekend.
They're starting
As
to
soon as
open
it warms
Thursday
up,
In the
nights.
morning they close. And our street is like.
Let's let one person speak and then another person can speak.
Anyway.
We're not gonna let this get out of hand and
I apologize.
let's just.
All
on the
we're
meeting.
asking is, please, I understand the police force is short right now. However, we are also residents of Munhall and we deserve the same that the park gets. Please tell me a bar or club that is open in Munhall until 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. It doesn't exist. It does not exist up in the park. So why is it allowed down by where we live? All we are asking is for the officers to enforce the signs that we have on our roads. We fought to get these signs. We fought to get permit parking. And all we ask is when we call, you tow away the vehicles that do not belong in our area. This bar is well aware of the rules. It's apparently, I forget who I talked to, they told me it's the same owners, just a different
I
name.
don't know who owns it, I don't know.
So can I speak?
Yep,
Thank you. So, this one first picture here that you just sent out, Chief, I believe there used to be signs right up here.
there is,
There was,
there's a
but they put the
sign,
fence up.
there's a sign right here.
What they take the signs down?
No, they're on the.
There's,
They're on the building.
oh, this is an
They're
old
on the
picture.
poles, all the-
Oh,
I
no,
just
it's not.
took it today.
But where's the signs?
There isn't any.
That's what I'm
sign.
Yeah,
saying.
there was a sign
There
on
was a
this
sign
pole.
there. I
There
know there
was.
was a sign there, because we put one
Oh,
there.
so they took the signs
There's-
off. So we don't have signs now,
No,
guys.
there is a sign right where.
There's one.
Oh, not in this
Further
picture.
down, it's.
There used to be a sign on that pole. There's
Somebody
not
comes
one
in
right
on
now.
the pole right here with a sign
But
on
there
it.
was one here
That's
too.
been
There was one.
There's a pole right
Not
Yeah.
the one up this way.
So when you come in the one way, There's a sign on that pole.
Excuse me?
When you come in the one-way, that also the officers don't enforce. We were told they don't have to, so, but we got pulled over. So all I ask is that we do something with this one-way. If you aren't gonna enforce it, then take the signs down.
Hold on a second. Let's calm down. We're not against you,
I understand
and you're
that.
speaking like we are.
Oh, no, I'm not. This is just how I speak.
Okay, all right, so just to regroup here for a second, because I believe there was a sign on
Yeah.
this road here
And then
before.
there's another sign, if you, on this pole up here,
Watch your, I'm good, I can see, okay? So this pole, this street pole, the street sign,
up the street. If you go up the street, there's more signage.
I know there is.
So I don't know where
So,
this.
the parking issue is there parking in front of your house? So this street right here is filled with parking cars right here? Where this is that I was just showing you? They're
Yes.
parked all along here, right?
Yes.
Right.
But that's when we
Yes.
start to call, once they start coming up at the end of that picture, because we know as the hours go on, excuse me for interrupting you.
Oh, no.
We know the hours and the nights go on, these cars will be all the way up, and it's a dead end street. Once you get enough cars up there, it's just chaotic.
It's impossible to turn around.
You remember the.
I've been there, I know.
So they're in our driveways, they're banging in and stuff.
I know that.
They're pissing, they're doing all kinds of.
After every event, there's trash. I mean, I have pictures. There's trash. I mean, it's all littered with garbage down there. There's a salt box that's full, they're using it as a trash can, and it's a salt box with no salt in it.
So, obviously, Chief, we need to look back here again and see where the signs are supposed to be at.
If you look at the first page, you'll see the red line. That's where the vehicles were parking the other day.
Okay?
There's no signs there. There is a sign, if you look on that first page on Hall Street, a little bit past that intersection, there's a sign, but it's on Hall Street, it's not on SD Way.
Okay?
And there is some up on Munn Street?
I didn't go all the way up to Munn Street because
There
the
is?
issue was SD Way.
Yeah, there are signs up there. You can see one of them up on this fence, I believe.
And there
At the very
was a
top.
sign on that telephone pole. I don't know. what-
I believe there was a sign
Yeah.
in this area here as well. Now, I think
No.
we have to certainly take a look at access through there, if they're parking, you know, what they're doing and what, if it's impeding them up there, Chief. I think you're gonna have to look again and see what needs to be dealt with.
Well, we were called for the cars and the cars were moved the other day. I don't know about the other incidents.
Excuse me, why, our question is, why do they have to be open all until?
Is that an LCD issue?
So
He's got the right to
I would
do that.
think that the chief would have the information on their licensing and what they're allowed to do and what they're not
The
allowed to.
police department doesn't enforce that. That's liquor control board.
Well, why don't we get the control board to take care of it for us? These can do that. These could do that for us. We're the
Hey,
taxpayers.
chief, how's
You
that
guys all
work?
work for us, we pay our taxes.
They have a club license or they have a regular bar license?
That's
It's
what we
a-
don't know.
We don't know.
They don't, I believe, have a bar license. I believe they're a
No.
I think
private.
there's a special,
They're bringing their own
I
booze.
think.
But I thought like when people rented the club, I thought they had to have a license to have liquor. Like when you're renting a club, don't you have to have some kind of license?
No.
Does the building?
As long as you're not selling it, you don't. But people can bring their own license in. Liquor, I mean, their own liquor in, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, they bring their own
Yeah.
liquor.
They still
You rent the hall.
They still can't sell anything after 2 AM, right? That's-
Well, they're
if
not
you bring
selling
your own
it.
alcohol, then you're not selling it and the LCE has nothing to.
But see, I
Back
think
to
there's
the
more
bar.
to this, because every event that is there, every time they're open, it's till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's a huge issue right now.
Well, it's an issue because the music
It's the
radiates.
noise ordinance.
We can hear it, I sit up at the top of the hill. I can hear it in my bedroom at
I
night.
can't sleep.
If I don't put my TV on, she's right across
I
the
live
street
right
from her.
across the street, there's no sleeping.
All you hear is boom, boom.
So I understand that, and that's an issue, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm not arguing that. But also, wasn't there shootings at this park?
Oh, yeah.
Shootings and deaths.
What, wasn't it shut down?
Yes.
Yeah, and then it
Yes.
reopened.
So,
It's the same thing as.
There's been a shooting, whoever opened it up, there's been
Exactly.
shootings.
so,
This summer,
Oh, there
people
was
were
shots
shooting.
fired last summer.
You bring your own.
There was an incident that happened. that was the shots that were fired that was down by, Amity. They drove all, that stemmed from the bar and ended all the way up into Amity.
Well, see, I'm not aware of the problems of shootings that have happened here, and this is the first I've heard that there's a reoccurring problem again down here.
That's why we're here, because we see.
Well, I understand
We wanna
that.
nip it in the butt before
And
it-
we nipped it in the butt before.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna have the chief check into it. I'm gonna have him further investigate, and he certainly will call the LCB and talk with them and see what time frames and what they're legally allowed to do and not do.
If it's a bar, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. If it's a club, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
So what happens
I
if
don't
it's
know
just a-
what they are. That's what we have to figure
We'll
out.
find that out.
They are a club. I just looked it up right here.
Hey,
And
Rick,
a lot of
Catering
there's,
club.
we may look into, talk about a referendum for the ballot, was talked here a few months ago about half a referendum to do away with any kind of bottle clubs in the borough.
Right.
That'd be something we want to look into. It was talked here about 6 months ago, I was out there.
It was,
Yes.
it was.
now, a lot of their events are booked through Eventbrite. That's where, and these people aren't even from Munhall. They come from.
We know that, we know that.
So,
We know that from the past. They were not people from our towns. They were influxing people for parties.
yeah.
And I didn't even know that they were open again, to be honest with you. I've not heard of a problem about it.
Exactly.
Well, when we have an officer call our house, because we call it 911 because somebody ran through our property. They destroyed
Yeah.
lights and our fence and the
I
whole 9
have it on
yards.
camera.
Tim
I have-
Schuster has
There's
the
a
shop
police
there.
I'm sure you saw it.
Tim Schuster has the carpenter shop there?
Yes.
He said his truck was all shot up.
Yeah, there's a police report generated
I bet if we
about
talk,
it,
they'll let us
and he
put
said
it
it's just a
on.
matter of time. So,
Whose fence is that?
I think it's Tim Schuster's.
He put it up because of that part.
It's,
Yeah.
it's the guys that own the old Nathan Builder. Is that Tim Schuster?
No, he's next to the old, he's next to the Sal's Cross a little bit.
yeah, that's
Watch
the,
over
there.
Froggy works
That's the
there,
fence
yeah.
you're talking
Froggy
about,
worked
right?
there.
Yeah.
Is that the fence you're talking about?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that fence, it's hard to say where that is, where that fence is. Here's Hall Street. Yeah, that's his Schuster. That's his fence.
Yeah, that's where Froggy works.
Yeah.
You don't work in a-
He retired.
He
Oh,
retired.
well, that's where he used to work.
Is this just, is it mainly open Friday and Saturday?
Yes.
Well,
Thursday as well.
Last
Thursday
week,
as well.
Thursdays, yep, yeah.
So, I mean, Chief, I think you need to start cracking down there a little bit. See what you can find out for us.
In the
Certainly,
meantime, is there any way we can get signs put back up?
absolutely. We need to check our ordinance, I would think, and see what signs
I
were.
believe the ordinance is okay, it's
Well,
just signage.
we can change parking by resolution.
Okay.
Vote, and I don't know what it's.
Well, we already did
We
that.
already did that. That's
So
what I'm
all we have to do
saying.
is talk to
We've already done it, just
Schuster.
repost it.
We should have a record there.
Why don't we talk to Schuster and see if we can't put the signs
the
on
fence.
his fence? This way he ain't gotta put no poles in or nothing.
Tim will.
I'm sure he'll go for
I'm
that.
sure he
I'm
will.
sure he will.
Yeah.
I work for Tim Schuster.
There you go.
I used to work for him, now I'm retired.
Okay?
You know, and I know in the past we had officers, I also think it was, oh my gosh, what is his name?
I can't remember.
What are you talking about?
We had an officer.
The
and he
officer
sat-
that caught the guys with the pistols in the car?
No, he sat at our hill and didn't let anybody, he only let residents up. I
Oh,
know
okay.
that the staffing is short, Katarina.
Yes.
I know the staffing is short, but, you know, we had peace and quiet when that was happening.
Uh-huh.
So all we ask is for peace and quiet again, and a nice bar would be nice. But these
Like Ruggles used
nightclubs
to be,
have to go.
Well, Mr. Shield just mentioned that. We have we can pass an ordinance to stop bottle
You
clubs.
know, it'll have to go on the ballot.
Just like the-
Talk about
just like the
this.
cemetery-
And
just
the
like the
public
neighborhood.
would vote whether to prohibit bottle clubs. Everywhere in the borough.
You'd have to get signatures.
You would have to get signatures, I'm sure.
Okay, fine, we could do that.
Right.
Pardon me?
If there's a sign that says, cars will be towed if they park here, what's the stop, the police from towing them without?
There's nothing to stop them from towing them.
Can I
Maybe
interject on that?
some of them people come on.
Right now,
see
there's
their
no
cars.
signs.
Hold on for a second.
Well, right now, because there's no sign there, Rich.
Chief.
Certainly, go ahead.
One of your officers, I was one of the phone call last Saturday. When the patrols came up on the site, he says, all I can do is give warnings, because it doesn't say towaway zone.
That's what, we're gonna fix the
I
sign.
walked to the sign, I said, guys, turn around, I'll show you the sign. He turned around and said, I think it says, oh yeah, it says no parking towaway, the officer saw it.
The area where the cars were parked on
The
Saturday.
car was right under the sign. The car was right
That's
under
the
the.
telephone pole we're talking about, the sign's gone
I
up.
think there's a telephone pole right where that picture was taken.
So,
It's on Hall Street.
Excuse me.
I've got a map up here.
We're on Ninth Street.
That's in one spot.
Are you talking about the intersection right where the one-way is at the beginning of the fence?
Are you looking at it on?
I'm looking at Google Maps, and
There
I
were
realize
no
that
signs and somebody tore them
this
down.
picture,
Nobody
this
was
picture's
making
a year and a
it,
half old
so.
now.
Just,
I know
just
that.
as a police officer, speaking to the layman, and I don't mean to sound rude, what was the point in us getting the permit parking then? That's all I'm asking.
You need
I'm not-
signage saying no parking tow-away zones for us to enforce it in the tow of the vehicles. I went down on that street, there's no signs where the cars were parked on Saturday.
I understand that. I'm
We
just
need to
asking.
fix, we need to put signs there and then we can enforce it. It's that simple, we need signs, they need to know that they can't park there.
We're starting all over again, is what's happening.
It's
We're
not,
starting all
you just
over
need to
again.
put signs up, everything is in place.
No, you guys have the signs.
Well, there are signs up
Yes, we're gonna put
on
signs
Munn
up.
Street.
Yeah, there's
The
like.
signs are on Munn Street already, so they're there. We just need SB Way to have signs on.
And the thing of it is, there's no sense of going to the bar and telling them they have to move their car. Just tow them. Then they'll know not to go there no more.
They were approached by an armed security guard there.
They
It
should
wasn't
just
the
be
police
towed.
that went into the bar.
They should be towed.
And, well,
That's funny, because
We
we
don't
see
have-
the police walk over and tell
Now,
them.
we only have one tower, we can only tow one car. If we do it to only one at a
and
time.
plus, when you have a car that's parked with no key, you need a flatbed.
Cheap.
And then we got another incident where we tried to tow a Tesla, and we ended up damaging the Tesla to try to get it out of there. So there's issues with the towing cars also that people aren't taking into consideration.
How many people are they having in the bar?
That's what I was just gonna ask.
The
Is this
parking
the
lot is
capacity for
Park-
people to
The
be
parking
in the
lot
bar?
is jammed.
I mean, how many people were in this building?
We don't know.
They're parking in,
There must be 100 people in there.
they park in rallies, they park on the road behind us where their house caught on fire.
I'd have to look.
They park in the pizza lot, they park in the old school on Ravine
Probably over
Street.
200 people.
They park in there, that's private property. They park all down Munn Street, all around the bend, they're everywhere. They're parking behind the Sal's Pizza. They're everywhere.
There's hundreds of them there.
Hall Street, SD Way,
So we
whatever the
need-
roads are called.
That's another thing that we need to look into is the occupancy of the building and how many people are in there and what kind of crowd they have in there, how many numbers. Is it safe for them to even be in that building?
Right.
You know, and then we need to.
For us residents.
Well, you have to have your weapons, you know, you're coming to a street fight and you're not bringing all your weapons, so bring all your information. We need that information. So I think we certainly,
But not, I'm not right this second, I would say, I know from our end of things, and it sounds like from Tom's end of things, we know what we need to do as far as putting signs back up, doing the research, and then we will come back with a recommendation for council.
absolutely, absolutely. So let us work on this a little bit for you. It's not like we're not gonna drop the ball.
May I approach the bench chief to show you?
Permission to put signs on the fence. Huh? I know he'll let us put it up.
Withdrawal when the cars start to get 85 to 60. Yeah, start coming up the hill, because they know what we're gonna start coming up the hill.
See, this is where they park, there is no sign.
What they do is they have a club and they're making money on admittance. They get admittance and they charge probably everyone $25 and they make $5 grand a night or 10 grand a night. That's what they're doing.
I just don't understand.
There's the
Why is there a club allowed in
It's
here?
a hall that lights up, that's all it is. It's a hall that
Let's see,
No, they
when,
don't have them.
when they, on their tickets, on their events, they put Hungarian Social Club.
There's no parking on this.
You know why they don't?
On their Eventbrite tickets, like when because you have to prepay for the tickets,
Yeah.
they say Hungarian Social Club on the tickets.
So there's
That's what it says on the
So
building.
they're using their license.
right here.
How?
Are they using the old license?
I don't
The
see one in
license
the
is still up
window.
in the window.
Oh, it is?
The license still up in the window.
License is still valid.
Still valid,
Is
okay.
it?
Yes.
How is it valid?
And it's not supposed to
Every LCD license?
Really?
be. They do what?
I just put the license.
Put it like an estimate.
It's in our next order. You can't touch it for 2 years.
So is that what they did? Is that what they probably did then? They sat-
So what we need to do, you need to keep calling and complaining.
We did.
Keep calling to the chief and be a pest to him. Get your calls in and keep complaining. Because when they go to the LCB, they're gonna say, how many complaints do you have? What's going on? The more complaints you have, the better off it is.
That's right.
But right now, you have a lot of complaints, they should just do it.
We got,
Why do we have to wait for more complaints to do it?
we keep getting.
This is
We're
the first, hold
taxpayers,
on.
just do it.
I'm trying to talk to you guys. This is the first I've heard of it.
We call them, they say go to the borough meeting, go to the borough.
I'm telling you.
So we keep saying, why?
Well, we're
why
here.
call?
I'm talking to you.
Here,
So
Who
are we.
opens these places?
Okay.
You guys?
people don't care about the neighborhoods. No, we have nothing to say about
Yeah.
it.
No,
What
it's just
about-
about our
Oh,
neighbors.
really?
People don't care about the neighborhoods.
Yeah, they think
So I
it's
just
amount of
go
time.
buy a building and
The
open a
building's a
business?
pigsty anyhow.
What's that?
The building's a pigsty anyhow.
And the summer comes, it's really gonna get worse and worse.
I question whether it's even safe to have people in there. That's what I'm
What we're
questioning.
trying to say is
Well,
we
where's
just
the
do
building
want to share the street.
inspector?
He's not here tonight.
Building inspector.
Oh, there he is.
Good luck.
Dave.
The building was inspected probably 4 times in the last 5 years. It's up to code.
Yeah.
When it comes to occupancy load, that's a pretty big building. You have to base it by if they have tables, chairs, or no chairs. So you take the square footage divided by 15 if they have tables. It's a pretty big building.
So Dan, does parking come into play for occupancy?
That's what the
I
problem
think it's
Does
the
parking come into play for
They
occupancy?
have a parking lot. They have,
How many spots?
I'd have to check on that. Yeah, I had to check on it.
Okay, so we'll
But
check on
that's
that.
been a bar for, you know,
Yeah, back.
It's been a bar.
90 years.
The bar's never been upstairs.
90 years.
The guy that owned the bar lived upstairs.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
gentleman had the bar on the bottom.
Right.
And he closed at 1 o'clock. He don't close at 4 o'clock in the
Right.
morning.
I mean,
You
like-
should not leave them in there because we're residents and we have to put up with this stuff.
Yeah.
It would not, if this was up on Main Street, it would not be there. And don't tell me it would, because I know it wouldn't be.
It's
It's
a private
down in the
club.
bottom.
They
Get
have,
it.
they have different rules
Yeah.
than what the bars of Main Street have. They're allowed to be open until 3:30 in the morning. Last drink is at 3, you're out by 3:30. They have different rules because they're a club.
yeah.
We
I don't
will
see,
work with you guys and make sure things happen, but yelling at us isn't getting us nowhere. We will work with you. We will get the signs up, the police will enforce it, but you guys have to call too. You have to call. If you
Call
don't call, nobody knows.
call LCB also.
But they do.
Call LCB also.
Can I ask one question? I'm old school, okay? Now, back in my day, and you remember, Dave, there was always, after 10, you had to be home. Midnight was supposed to be quiet time. Whatever happened to disturbing of the peace?
Well, that's another complaint that you would have to talk to the chief about.
All right,
Because
chief.
If the music's loud enough, you can hear it in your house. If
Oh,
there's
yeah.
definitely a problem, and you call
Well,
us.
then we're calling every
So when
night.
we call,
Please do.
your officers
We will.
tell us that they can't do anything because the music's coming from inside the bar.
That's what they
It's not
have.
That's what they
outside the
tell us.
bar.
I will deal with my officers, but I'm telling you, if that's a problem, we can enforce that.
And then on decent exposure, with us coming out and seeing what's going on, so our vehicles don't get hit, we have to watch somebody peeing.
This is not the
That's
first I heard.
disgusting.
This was spoken 4 years ago when we
Yeah,
addressed it.
well, it's still happening.
Same thing.
And we're not yelling, we're just upset residents.
I understand.
Sorry if we raised our voices, but
It's
we're
okay.
upset, we're
We're-
We will
frustrated.
help you.
We're here to support you all, we're not against you.
He did a great job.
We're
What's
we're on the
We're on lack
same
of
team, I
sleep.
promise
There you
you.
go.
I get it, I
I'm up
understand.
at 4 AM and for work
I
myself.
understand, I just went through it.
Thank you for hearing our address.
Hi, Rosie.
Thank you for coming and bringing it to our attention again, okay? And if each one of you, I mean, I hate to say one person cannot represent the group. No, I see 7 of you and your daughter. If she's up half the night, then that means there's 8 of you. You need to make 8 calls. That's what Chief Woolman said. If you only get 1 call, he says only 1 person call. The more people that call, the more action will be taken, from what I understand. Is that right, Chief?
Well, now that it's brought to your attention, hopefully on the weekends, you can tell an officer, hey, go check out Munn Street. Go check out that bar. Now that you're aware of what's going on. Hopefully we see more officers in our area.
They always don't have to wait for a call. I mean, they could drive by sometime, I'm sure the chief will tell them, you know, to get down to Munn Street, unless there's some emergency going on somewhere.
We
Understand,
Of course,
yes.
but hopefully, I talked to the chief before meetings, we have 11 applicants for the police officer's job, and they're testing on Friday, so hopefully, not too long, we'll be able to get up to full force again.
We're not trying to bother you and just keep calling, but we need something done
You're
down
not
there.
bothering us.
You're not bothering
Don't
us.
call us.
And if you guys see an
Because
event
sometimes
coming
that's
up,
what we feel like.
Yes.
call the chief and tell him.
They get paid.
Call on
to
March
call.
1st.
Okay.
Big event coming in, March.
Yeah, let the chief know,
It's
because
like we brace for it.
No, there's an event coming up at the end of February.
Oh,
if you
guys
guys
better
know
be
what
down
event's
there.
going on, call them and give them a heads up, so
Yeah.
they can know what's going on, so they can address it.
Either to talk to me, I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
I
You
appreciate
can come down and see me anytime, you can call me, I'm always available.
it. Me and Campbell work hand in hand like that, I appreciate that.
We like you, he really helped us out.
Trust me.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Is that okay, guys?
Yep, we're good.
We heard, we understand, all right? So let's move on. Any other public comments? Yes, sir, please state your name.
Michael Aldridge. Mine's really twofold. I'll make the first one real short.
Okay.
I know the budget's out and you're done, and I know have been on the budget quite a number of years about doing something about Boone Alley. From Library to McClure is bad. The last 2 blocks, the 500 block and the 400 block, is horrible. Now and then your men do come down and cold patch, appreciate that, but a cold patch don't hold up. And then it all crumbles, and then you track it in, and that's even worse. It damages property. I don't know where you are with your budget, and if there's any opening that something seriously, one time you were going to pay, then you moved that off and did something else that was more important. But if you went down
So
the
we've
road,
gone through all the alleys, we've gone through all the streets, we've looked at them. We are in the process of deciding what we're gonna do, and I know your alley is horrible there. We know that.
thanks. Well, I didn't know, that's
We've done
why I
that,
said.
we're in the process of deciding where and what we're gonna do, and we know the condition is horrible. I've brought up your alley in conversations. We know that's bad.
Okay, then
All right.
that was, I said that was the easy
All right,
one.
right.
First, that was first, but first, hey, I wish every one of you are healthy and everyone in there a healthy new year.
So do you.
If you're healthy, you'll be happy. I'm the hell with being happy and not healthy. Yeah. But I'm here tonight for maps, and I have 2 other board members, I have Yvonne Owens, and I have Michael Serrano here also. We need your help again. Now, what we are going through, believe it or not, is still a financial crisis. One, we truly appreciate what your manager has done. He takes care. You give us $25,000 a year. Doesn't matter what it say on the computer. You give us $25,000 a year. He gives us half about in January. Hey, January's gone already. And he gives us the other half at the end of December. Homestead gives us $10,000. It's a much smaller area, much smaller, business we do in Homestead. So that's $35,000. Our fuel bill is $36,000 minimum. $36,000. Our budget, our operating budget is $1.4 million. So 2% of our budget is what we get from the communities that we serve, Homestead and Munhall. It is crushing us. And what I mean by that, which everybody is facing, you hear the chief over there, is getting people to work. All right, so yeah, I'm sure many of you have heard many ambulance services have folded in much bigger areas than ours. So Wickley's, they're closing up because of money situations. Most of your ambulance services around here, Baldwin, McKeesport, they are municipally funded. And they are over 50, the minimum is 50% of their budget. The boroughs cover them. And like I said, the problem is, and I'll give you a perfect example. In the last 3 months, we've had employee problems. And why? Because of money, trying to keep up with the other ambulance services. So we did all the advertising, which cost, we hired 3 people in the last 3 months. One is gone already after all that training, bringing in, taking out on trucks, teach them our ways of doing things and whatever. One is left already. 2 months and gone for more money. We pay decent, but it's, you want to support a home, a family, you know, cars, you know, whatever that. So we're asking, we know your budget's out, so you can't afford any more for what you're doing here in the town. Can you get us on the ballot and let the people decide whether they want an ambulance service?
So,
Because if we fold, you really won't be able to afford who will come in here. You won't be able to afford them.
so can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes, sir.
So
Please.
before you came, we spoke with Mike Serrano about this exact topic. And our solicitor is glad to look into things for you, and our borough manager, I've directed them to both work together and see if there are ways that we can do things for you. Also, we directed Mike Serrano and your board to call the Bureau of Elections in Allegheny County. They set all the precedent on how you get onto the ballot. Take a phone call them, and they'll help you.
We've done that already.
And what did they tell you?
They said the borough has to do it. We went down to see if we could get on.
Yeah, I went
Sent her
down
down
last
2 years
year,
ago. Last year.
and they told me it has to be initiated through the borough.
And I did bring that up to your past manager. I brought it up to him. And we were shocked. They met. All 3 boroughs met. And your manager that you no longer have, not Joe, not the last, the one before him that you let go, you fired.
No.
He shut it down. He shot it down about getting us on the ballot and let the people decide. So we have tried that. She went down to Electable, spent the whole day. And that's how we got.
So let me answer you.
Yes, sir.
The council decides, not the borough manager, on what we're gonna do. So our council, and I've directed our borough manager and our attorney to really look into this. And we'll contact you and let you know what we found out, what the ins and outs are. And if you do indeed need counsel to initiate, we can do that. We certainly do not want to see maps fail. We need a strong maps in our borough.
I don't think he ever came to council. It was the one before Joe.
I don't think
What's
so
the one
either.
that you fired? He had trouble. What's his name?
Was it Gallus or something like that?
He was from up Butler area.
Was that Callan?
Yeah, Robert Callan, he was from Newcastle.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He did. I come to council and they said the managers would meet and see what they can come up with. Munhall manager met, West Homestead manager met, Homestead manager met. Munhall manager shut it down. I come up to see him and he walked, we over in that old building. I come to see him, he got up out of his office and came out the back door and came down the back and left.
Well, council decides, not the borough manager.
I thank you. I mean, your manager now has been very helpful.
I've
He's been very
directed,
cooperative
I've
with us.
directed these 2 gentlemen to work on that for you, and we will certainly get back to you on what we find. but I'm not aware, I thought you could do it yourselves, go down there and do that.
We try.
We will,
Unless it's
we will
changed
find
since-
out,
Unless it's changed since last February, that was the statement we got. Because I initially attempted to do it specifically for the borough of Homestead. And that was when they told me, no, it has to be generated through the borough council.
so we'll find out if indeed it has to be both Homestead and Munhall in agreement, because you're serving both municipalities, so they're probably gonna have to work together on that, I would think, wouldn't you, Seth?
Yeah, we'll figure it
So
out.
we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We're working on it.
So, we want to stay. We want to stay. You got an excellent crew. We've worked out any issues that we've had or anything. You have excellent paramedics and EMTs. Yeah, we have excellent equipment, and we put in new furnaces in your building. We put in new air conditioners in your building. We need a new roof, but
So-
we've done that.
We thank you for coming. We appreciate
No, I
you being
thank
here,
you
and
for
we
listening.
want you to be, we welcome you. We send a representative once a quarter to the meeting, we would love to have him talk. We can work together on many items.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other items, anyone have anything else to talk about?
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
Okay.
Mayor, would it be possible, I brought it up last week at the workshop meeting about Johnny Vallis' son. Would it be possible to get some kind of little proclamation, have him come down?
Sure. Oh, yeah, that can be done. We can do that. We can do it next month.
Is everybody in agreement with that?
Why didn't you explain to these people who didn't know about what you're talking
Oh,
about? Because the majority of them weren't here.
So this was about 2 weeks ago. There was a little boy, 6 years old, the son of a borough employee, street department employee. And where he lives, he got his dad, who's an employee of the borough, said, "Dad, let's go down here to the corner and clean up crap." So he spent all day down there with the little tongs, and he picked up, 6 years old. What 6-year-old does that? He did. So I was pretty proud to hear that. So that's why I'm asking for a little, something. And maybe this will generate more. So
That wasn't the first time he did it. He's also cleaned up Troutman Field.
He has.
Numerous times
Yes.
around the playground.
So
I've talked to him.
just a little proclamation, bring him in
One time myself, actually.
here,
We can do a proclamation.
Absolutely, I think it would be very nice of you, Mayor.
We can do that next month, yeah.
Cool.
You know what, another thing you brought up last month too, I will float out some dates we gotta get it started on Memorial Day Parade too.
Sure.
I know you and Bernie and Rick have all been involved in that, everybody's welcome, Rini was involved, so we're gonna set up a Memorial Day meeting soon, so we can get prepared for that. And I think we'll, pretty much the same as last time, we're gonna try, I think it worked out well. We went to Ann Ashley for our social afterwards, rather than bringing it back to the borough building. But we'll get started on that. I'll send an email out to everybody to, we'll look at some meeting dates we can set up.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, no problem. All right, so let's move on for items for consideration. We're gonna go to, we'll start off to pay our bills. Motion to pay bills for the period of January 1, 2024 through January 31st, 2024, summarized as I believe payroll, and that's for $309,897.85. I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bodine. All in favor? Okay. Number 2, motion to approve the payroll for the period ending 2023, December 30th to January 13th, 2024, with a total of $320,000, $320,383.18. I need a motion.
Motion. Second.
I need a second. Motion by Mr. Shields, second by Mr. Yunkins. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 3, I'm just looking at the numbers a little closer, that's all, just for a second there. Motion to authorize the manager to enter into an annual contract with Savvy Citizen for mass communication services at an annual cost of $4,439 plus $600 for advertising and outreach. And I'd like, before we even ask for a motion, could you just tell us a little bit about this, Seth? Because we have talked about this, and I just want him to, you have the citizens here, please give us a little in on that, right?
So Savvy Citizen is an updated app and communication system that people can sign up for. If anybody's used the system out of the county, where you can sign up for specific notices, whether you want road closures, events, meetings, you can do it via the app, via an email, or via text. It also would be part of our website, so it's a totally opt-in for what you want service that covers everything from emergencies, where the police or the emergency manager or the fire department could have access to the everyday, such as the reminder that, hey, Monday was a holiday and trash is delayed a day, that we can then push out, knowing that not everyone has or looks at Facebook or our website all the time to catch those things. So the annual cost is $44.39, and then they actually have a $600 budget for outreach and advertising, where they will customize the outreach for Munhall however we want it, to make sure that we can get as many residents signed up
So
as
who
possible.
enters all that into that information into there?
As far as the data for the residents, folks at Savvy Citizen is part of their fee, and then all we have to do is enter our calendar items, and then it automatically pushes the information out.
There you go.
Would we get alerts on that?
You have a
Once we
choice.
sign up?
If you download the app, it'll
Right.
it'll do a push alert to you where
Okay.
it shows up on your screen. You can also have it do a text and or an email. So you have 3 options.
All right.
Thank you. So, I need a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Yunkins.
I second.
Second by Ms. Fry. All in favor? Aye. Vote is unanimous. Okay, motion to approve a resolution recognizing Munhall Community Band as eligible to apply for a small games of chance license. I need a motion.
Motion.
Need a second.
Second.
Second by,
Leah Pepe. You pick.
okay. Second by Mr. Bodadian. And all in favor?
Aye.
Rick, can I ask you one question on this Munhall Community Band? I know it's not your board problem, but they tried to get Still Valley Auditorium for their upcoming concert. They never got it. Our band is playing in West Mifflin's venue and paying $2,000 because the school district wouldn't answer their calls. I thought that was totally out of blue. And I will be at the school board meeting to find out why.
Yeah, I was trying to help them with that too, Mike, and I made some contacts there, but they
But
seem
don't
not
you
to
think the
follow
school
up
board,
with
someone
the
from the
band.
board should have got back to them?
Well, I don't know if they were contacting the board, I think they were contacting administration. from
Either
there.
way.
And I personally talked to the new band director, because they have a new band director this year. And, and I think even one of his assistants is a member of the Munhall Community Band.
So, Mike,
But nothing we can do here, really.
I'm not critiquing you.
Right.
That's a question that you want to ask. When I asked earlier in the meeting, any comments for items for consideration? That's when you want to say, hey, I got a question on this item number 4.
I didn't know it was even part of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, and we try to do that because when we're trying to vote for things, we try to act through council. And I'm just trying to train you all on this is Robert's rules, which I'm not a big fan of Robert's rules.
Hey, Mike. You know why they didn't approach the library about it? That's a venue that
Probably too expensive. But West Mifflin gave him a price of
Carnegie Library of
$2,000.
Homestead is in Munhall. The Carnegie Library of Homestead is in Munhall.
Yeah.
Library's kind of hard to get right now too, there's a,
So I still need
They're
a,
tearing it up, yeah.
I still need a motion, because I had a motion, but I'm not sure who made the motion.
He actually got it.
We did get a vote?
Yep.
We got a vote on it. Okay, well, very good then.
Number 5.
All right, we're moving on to number 5, a motion to approve ADA parking in front of 207 East Larkspur Street, Munhall, upon the recommendation of our police chief. I need a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Eads,
Second.
second by
Either one.
Mr. Youngkins.
Thank you.
And we need a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Motion to approve the purchase of a used roller from Cleveland Brothers in the amount of $12,500. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Eads, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Vodadian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just to note, this was like a $25,000 roller. We got a really good deal on that. Okay, we're moving to motion number 7. Motion to approve the employment of Scott Snyder as a full-time police clerk, at a rate of $20 an hour effective, would that be when?
26th? 2/26.
Effective 2/26/24. I need a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Shields, second by Mr. Eads. All right, all in favor? Aye. Motion's unanimous. Motion to approve the purchase of a cat broom unit, BU 118, from Cleveland Brothers under municipal purchasing contract at a cost of $9,173. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Youngkins, second by Mr., what's your name again?
I have $9,135.
yeah, that's what it is.
I have $9,135.
Okay.
I spoke that wrong. All right, second by Mr. Ondo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All in favor? Motion to approve the borough engineer and the manager to advertise for the bids for the 2024 road paving project. And this all includes all the alleyways that we've all been looking at. So, motion, I need a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Youngkins.
Second.
Second by Mr. Vodadian. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay, very good. Any other comments? We already did the non-agenda items, so I think we're all good.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes, sir.
I just want to say that I was stopped down there on Main Street where that wall collapsed.
Yes, I drove down there today.
Yeah, I sent you some pictures,
Yeah, I did see the pictures.
and
They were supposed to start working there today.
they're working.
I missed them then.
The wall's down, they were leveling out the creek. I asked them, I said, what are you gonna do with all that, big concrete that's in there? He says, we're gonna leave it there because we're concreting the whole area. So,
Okay,
it's moving on.
awesome. I did drive by there looking for that today, and I missed it. Any other comments from council? Okay, I thank you all. I thank the public for attending. We appreciate you coming, and we do hear you.
I have a comment.
Yes.
Now, you were talking about that 6-year-old boy. There's a lot of kids that are out of control. Munhall, Homestead, West Homestead. Is there any way you could put flyers up for parents to get involved with their kids to try to clean up the community?
Certainly. I don't see why we couldn't do that.
We have a cleanup day coming up on May 4th. We will reach out to the high school, middle
I
school.
mean, just to get the kids involved, because some of them are just out of control.
Always not easy, but we can try. It's always not easy.
We can certainly, we could put that out on our
Flyers
website.
or
We
something,
can
and
put it out on our
put it
website.
in one or
And
something.
we can certainly talk to the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. We try to get all those youth organizations involved.
We have Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts helping with the last.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, but really, that's not what you're talking about, right?
No, I'm
I
talking
know.
about kids in the community.
well, they're all welcome. I think,
that.
Yeah, just getting them here and putting signs up to let them know when, what date.
Chief, do the police do anything
Time.
like that? Do they do bicycle stuff and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
we
right?
do a bike rodeo every year.
Maybe you should start thinking about that.
We'll take that into consideration, ways we can do that.
The police are community oriented, they go to the elementary schools. We have officers in the high school, middle school. We try to get the officers into the elementary schools as much as possible. We're shorthanded, so we haven't had them in elementary as much. But, you know, we have an officer, Bowie, if you don't,
I know him.
that is every day at the high school.
I
And he's
know.
talking to these kids. He's actually,
He's nice.
he
He's
took
nice
on a job
officer.
as their cross-country coach actually too.
Uh-huh.
So he's involved with the kids and
Public Works to do.
there's, they go to the great elementary school and talk to the kids. So we are out there in the community, it's getting them.
Getting them involved is what it is.
Like all of our
Yeah, I know.
council
It's not like
and,
we was days.
So I think,
Yeah.
I think we could do that. There's a lot of things that we can do. We can put it on, like the borough manager said, we can put it on Savvy Citizen. That's another outreach group. And we're gonna need to get signs that we can stick in people's yards, like we can get Munhall Cares involved. We can get concerned groups. And we can go, and really, we're starting with new committees. And one of our committees is property management for the town. We can go into those committees. We'd like to form committees like your group down there. You guys should be at the table when these communities are being formed. We want a voice from you down there. Hey, we got a problem in this area. We have a problem down by Mr. Aldrich's building down here. We need people in that community as well. 9th Avenue, 10th Avenue, all that area. We need the town to come together and start working. I agree 100%. So there's multiple things we can do, and the world is the limit. Munhall is still a great town to live in. We need to promote it, and we need to work together with everything. So.
What it is drugs and stuff
Well,
too, you know? It's just crazy.
It's a scary situation, but we can't go that far. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't, I would love to, but, right.
it's not a rural problem, it's a nationwide problem.
Yep.
It's all the whole country.
I was just gonna say, there are 7 of us up here on the committees, okay? But we can't do it. I mean, we're all so very, very involved. We need, I know Renee personally, Renee to be a say. I've been on that property thing, like Rick is saying. We need residents to come and listen to what we're saying, and we need to hear from each of you. And not 1 or 2, we need 4 or 5 people so that we can report to each other. You know, you're gonna see, we're gonna each, I think Rick has us on for the workshop, for all the committees to give a report. We're trying. I'm talking to Dave and Dave's talking to Kevin, and we don't really know what's going on in the community, you know, unless we're right here. But if you come to us and tell us, you know, and it's been advertised when our meetings are, just call me, I'll tell you when the community and property meeting is. I'll tell you when the Parks and Rec.
It's right on the calendar. It's right on our schedule, the calendar, in our website. So it's all there. And I do want to we do want public involvement in these committees. Public Works, I mean, public parks and the property committees. We want you guys to get involved because that's where it starts.
That's where it starts.
All right,
You care
so,
about the community. That's why you're here, and we're here because we care.
okay, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
I need a second. Second by Mr. Shields. Thank you all again for coming.